motionless plane, right? What I'm trying to say is, if you look at how the horizon works, the higher you go, like all of the mathematics check out in my version, not yours. We have the scientific method with curvature, with constellations, with everything. I don't know why you say we're crazy. You believe in water sticking to a ball when water always seeks its level. I mean, like, it's never been proven. The only time you measure gravity is outside of your realm of existence, because you say you have to leave low Earth orbit, you have to go to space, it has to be as big as Earth. You'll never find, if it's scientific method, you should be able to test it repeatable in nature, correct? So gravity is your God, it's your theory, it's a faith-based thing. There's a lot of things that are faith-based, but you're getting dominated. Go ahead.
I mean, I think we can summarize this whole debate with you saying that planet is plain with a T added at the end. Planet comes from an old Greek word and it means wanderer. Like wanders around the solar system. Like isn't like heliocentric at the center of the fucking universe. I mean, we can talk about any of these water finds its level. I mean, like these are all like the same conspiracy theorists that have been brought up and debunked a billion times in the past. I mean,
does water always seek its level? Has it ever stuck to any triangle or ball ever in history?
I mean, if that triangle or ball is generating enough gravity to keep the water on it, then yeah,
right, right. And the only way you can measure gravity is on a planetary scale. So technically, you can't repeat that science. It's not real science. You can't do it in nature. You can't do it in a lab. Another thing, rainbows. If you look at how do you recreate with a scientific method a rainbow in a garage?
Wait, what do you mean we can't measure gravity? We've measured gravity all the time.
We just agreed that it's on a planetary level. It has to be on a. So the scale cannot be repeated in nature.
What do you mean? Like we can't make a planet? I mean, like you can look at if you want. We can look at videos. Wait, we can look at videos right now of astronauts in space that water around a ball and watch it like congeal there and float. I mean, we can look at the videos right now.
No, we'll do it on your channel and we'll send each other 2-3 videos for like 20 minutes for debate. I have 20 minutes of my day for you. So what I'm trying to say, Dusty, is how do you recreate a rainbow in a garage? Rainbows are dome shaped because it is a dome. Nothing's left low Earth orbit. You recreate a rainbow in a garage with water vapor, a light source, and a glass dome. That's why sundogs, rainbows are dome shaped. They're not spherical in any sense.
But you can create a rainbow. Hold on. Anybody that's ever been outside knows that you can create a rainbow without a glass dome anytime you want. If you turn a sprinkler on, you can see a rainbow appear. You don't need a glass dome for that.
Exactly. And how is the rainbow appearing in nature?
The rainbow appears in nature because when light passes through water, the water causes the different wavelengths to refract. What do you mean?
The dome shape is being caused by the dome. Dome shape is being caused by the dome. That's why rainbow, small or large, they're all reflecting off. If I asked you to recreate a rainbow in a garage,
first of all, it doesn't make a dome shape. It makes a spherical shape. A rainbow is a sphere.
It doesn't make it. Did you say a rainbow is a sphere?
Yeah, well, it's a circle technically because it's a two-dimensional plane, but. Do you disagree?
Do you want to lock that in, that a rainbow is spherical?
Have you ever seen a full rainbow before? Yeah, it is.
Just say for the.
Yeah, a rainbow is like a spherical thing. Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you've heard the gentleman speak. It's now time to vote. Please,
Raj, wait a second. What if the examples given in this very argument of Russia versus US and the conspiracy of the Earth being flat being kept hidden for the US, what if all these propagandas, all these false wars, what if right now we are seeing that same brainwashing happening on a smaller relative level where Zerka is Russia trying to speak the truth, and Destiny is the US keeping the truth from being spoken. And this is a smaller model of the bigger model that we live in.
Holy shit! Holy shit! Holy shit!
Holy fuck!
What kind of squad W cocaine is that, Raj? Whoa!
Dude,
whoa.
Did you see this?
Whoa!
This is why I advocate for education reform in the United States, because holy fucking shit. Oh my god.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Catch that, Raj?
you have heard from both sides.
Whoa.
It's now time to vote who you want to win.
Hang on. Destiny. Yep. Just to show you, we have the scientific map and everything, but what is the United Nations flag if not our flat Earth map?
Oh, you got it, dude. They snuck it in there.
I mean, they fooled you.
Now look, the winning poll, gentlemen who are watching the poll, please do not click the link and look at the results. I want to announce it to you. Vote, chat, who you want to win the Raj Royale podcast.
Bro, they always give me a hardest guy.
One quick question though for Zerka, okay? So if the Earth's flat,
bro, they always give me a hard guy.
is there an end that we'd fall off?
Yeah, I'll ask the same question to you. Where's the edge of space?
What? The universe is literally defined as everything in existence. There can't be an edge to everything.
Exactly. So until we can
Who's
actually
the
go to
Matrix?
Antarctica, I know it's a treaty, it's militarized zone, but we're either dealing with a infinite plane.
Have you ever been on like an international flight before?
Who's the Matrix?
So weird that you guys disagree with me, because Admiral Byrd, the first person to explore Antarctica in front of a flat Earth map, was interviewed. These questions, the clips on YouTube.
Our guest tonight is not only our greatest living explorer, but he's been an inspiration to countless
Who's the
Americans.
Matrix?
Admiral Byrd, is there any unexplored land left on this Earth that might appeal to adventurous young Americans?
Yes, there is. Strangely enough, there's left in the world today an area as big as the United States that's never been seen by a human being. And I think it's quite astonishing. More important than that, it has to do with the future of the nation, those to come after us, or even during your lifetime. Because it happens to be an untouched reservoir of natural resources.
I just find it so weird how you guys go against Admiral Byrd, you know?
I mean, I find it so weird how you would go against literally, 15 different scientific
you
disciplines.
mean government propaganda?
All education now is government
no,
propaganda?
no,
Wait, here's a
no.
question. John, I got a real question. For you. Real question. If the government propaganda is so strong that we have multiple countries, we've got multiple academic fields, we've got multiple institutions of education, all these people are all bought in for 200, 300 years or whatever, all bought into this flat earth shit, however many years it's been, right? Why wouldn't they just delete the flat earth shit off the internet?
Well, that's the thing. When you search up flat Earth, you don't get the stuff that I research. You do. No. You get a disc flying through space. You get flat Earth Society bullshit. You don't get the scientific method. The shit that I'm into is you'll never find it. Nobody will ever find it.
Then how the fuck did you find it?
Well, that's the thing. Before it got deleted, I was looking into, it was a Joe Rogan podcast. I said, Eddie Bravo is such an idiot. I looked into it and I realized, my God, they have the scientific method. They have engineers in the Discord. They have airplane pilots. There's no way Destiny could beat 300,000 airplane pilots in one group.
Do you see what my country has become, Manuel? This is what we live with in the United States. These are the people that vote for Trump, by the way. This is what my fucking country is like, all right?
Well, I've got to say to both Zerka and Destiny, this right here, what I just witnessed, I will confidently say is the best content I have ever experienced in the last 2 years I've been on Twitch, and that is
a flat Earth debate.
Dude, this was amazing. I haven't been more entertained. I could listen to this for another 2 hours happily with a smile on my face. This was amazing, and I hope this goes on. I love this. I can't. Dude, this was amazing.
It will go on Destiny's podcast once a week. Destiny and I are gonna go at it.
Thank you, Train. I appreciate it. Thank you, Destiny. Now,
wait, somebody just linked like a figure site.
places on the ocean's floor was only just discovered in the 1990s. I might agree as one of a handful of people to ever see it in person.
Without a doubt, one of the most amazing things that I had ever seen in the bottom of the ocean, it was while filming for Blue Planet, was in the Gulf of Mexico. I noticed there's something out in the distance, couldn't tell exactly what, but it looked like a dark band. And as we approached it, the dark band became a donut. I saw this donut that was black in the center. What the heck is that? And so as we get closer and closer to it, I noticed that the black band had what appeared to be kind of steam over it. And then I looked.
While Brendan Schaub was between shots of Tiger at home, urinating in his kitchen sink, Theo Von was sitting between Johnny Knoxville and David Spade at last night's UFC pay-per-view event. Oh, and check this out. Theo Von hanging out with President Trump as well. Bobby Lee, roll that goddamn footage. Do it. Now here are the Reddit comments posted by various users. It's so interesting and funny that Brendan Schaub said that Theo Von was quitting the King and the Sting podcast because Theo was still out figuring some stuff out and that he'll be stopping by every now and then. Well, how did that go, Baba? I thought Theo was fighting demons and shit. I'm starting to think that Theo's demons were mostly in the Thick Boy studio. Yup, when Theo started missing time from their podcast King and the Sting and he decided to quit, Theo Von was interviewing Tony Hawk and other celebrities, while Brendan was talking to BGL Mark Harley. I'm sure right now Brendan's thinking to himself, oh yeah, Theo Von, yeah, he's slowly getting better now. Hopefully he'll be back soon. I'm sure as soon as Theo gets things straightened out, he'll be back on the Golden Shower podcast with Schaub, so pray for him. It looks like from this video clip, the only thing Theo Von's figuring out is how to use the camera. He's not a photographer, B. Theo practically in the Matrix, leaning back taking that photo. And we all know that Brendan wanted so badly for Theo Von to fail, because in his mind he left the shittiest podcast in the world. My man Theo over there is so far ahead of Baba that he has to actually lean back physically.
On ABC's The Prank Panel, Johnny Knoxville, who is in the building tonight, and Theo Von, David Spade, two absolute legends of the comedy game with us here tonight.
We all know that Brendan was already jealous when Johnny Knoxville touched Theo's nipples, and sitting next to David Spade just puts the nails on the coffin. Seriously, seeing David Spade right after Johnny Knoxville was the caking on the ice, B. You know Brendan is sick right now. So it looks like Theo Von was at UFC 290, taking care of some things. Yeah, he's got a lot going on, Baba. Demons in the closet. It's a shame Theo can't be in Calabasas Thick Boy Studios with Brendan Schaub and the diddler Chris D'Elia, breaking down these fights on a fight companion that nobody watches with a warm glass of Tiger Thick Piss whiskey. Theo just sold out multiple shows, gets screen time on pay-per-view, and had steak dinner with Joe Rogan, while Brendan is in the same city and is taking selfies at the Best Western Hotel pool. Talking about that white boy who's figuring things out too much. Hell, I guess it turns out that VIP seats at one of the biggest UFC events of the year is just the right place to battle some inner demons. Things may begin to turn in Theo's favor. If the roles were reversed, I could already imagine Baba there in his stupid fucking Canadian Mountie hat, them girly sunglasses, his sausaged up lips, stupid silk blouse, mid-thigh leggings, and his Air Force Ones with pink laces, with his legs crossed, piss whiskey in hand, winking at Joe Rogan thanking him for the tickets. It's a damn good thing they got Theo Von instead. Anyhow, let me know what y'all think in the comment section down below. But hey, make sure you hit that subscribe and like right now. But for now, I'll see y'all next time.
You've heard.
Dudes, congratulations. I gotta assume the biggest win of your career to date. Very impressive performance. How do you feel about the way things went?
Home and relax and, you know, let their bodies heal and
Please, congratulations. I gotta assume the biggest win of your career to date. Very impressive performance. How do you feel about the way things went tonight?
Oh, absolutely amazing. Definitely the biggest win of my career. Leading up to this, I knew this was the biggest fight of my career. It's Robert Whittaker. The man hasn't lost to anybody else than the champion in almost a decade. But I said it, this is not going to see the third round. TKO in the second happened that way because, you know, I just know my fighting style. And I guess this answers all the nose questions.
You were very respectful of him coming into this fight. You know, you knew how great he was. He did have some success early on, and then you seized momentum, you know, towards the end of round one. I guess, how did things play out, and was anything surprising to you in there?
No, not at all, especially in the beginning of the fight. I said it, I can't go and fight Robert Whittaker like I fought Brad Tavares. He is too good and too calculated. I needed to figure out his timing, and I think the game plan, my coach Monet Visser, he is obviously a guru at this. He is the man who put this all together, coming out and fighting southpaw against a guy like Whittaker. You know, I always do switch stance, but to go and learn a complete new style for this guy, and it just worked perfectly. But, you know, in that first, I would say, first half of the first round, I was almost checking to see, okay, how fast is he? How hard does he hit? And he hits hard and he hits fast. But it was just getting that timing, seeing, okay. But it was still going forward and putting pressure on. That was the plan, and that's what I executed. Much easier said than done when you're fighting and standing in front of Robert Whittaker throwing these big shots. But at the end of the day, I progressed and I made that pressure forward, and I could see in his eyes when he realized this guy's not slowing down and this guy's not going away.
So amazing victory, and they leave no doubt that you're getting the title shot next, bringing Israel Adesanya into the cage. I guess, what did you make of that, of him being brought in and you guys having that face-off? What did you make of the whole situation?
Yeah, the only thing I made of that was it's usually the contender that goes into the cage, right? So, I mean, even he sees me as the champion already, so he better knows I'm the champion. And now that he's seen me in that cage, he knows what a force I am in there. He could feel the energy, and I could feel how insignificant he is to me when we get into that cage.
Last thing for me, Dana was here earlier. He said he's not going to bother you about when you can fight, give you a little time, but everybody knows we're looking for a main event in Sydney. Is 9 weeks even a possibility, or is that unrealistic to ask you to be ready for a title fight in that kind of time?
What I say is Dana White obviously knows fighters, and he has the respect to know that tonight's all about celebrating myself and obviously celebrating the legend of Robert Whittaker.
Jerkus right here. It seemed like coming into this fight, a lot of people were counting you out, not giving you your respect, and it seemed like Robert Whittaker was maybe the person who was giving you the most respect in terms of what you were capable of. Do you think now?
Threads, Zuckerberg's attempt to replace Twitter, gained a staggering 30 million users in its first 24 hours. This is record-breaking growth, and poses an existential threat towards Twitter, and Elon Musk is clearly terrified by it. Less than a year after buying Twitter, his whole app could go down the drain, along with his $44 billion investment. However, behind the surface, this is just the next step of a public rivalry that's been raging for years, and this rivalry is leading to public boycotts, an exploding satellite, and a supposedly upcoming MMA fight. And right now Musk is getting desperate, and this is why he's threatened a huge lawsuit against Threads. Just within hours of Zuckerberg bragging about the massive influx of people joining Threads, Musk launched into claims of industrial espionage and intellectual property theft. In a cease and desist letter, he called Threads a copycat app, claiming that Threads stole dozens of Twitter's top employees in breach of their contract and the law. He's even claiming they took trade secrets and knowledge of Twitter with them. And there's also another former Twitter employee who's been accused of stealing tens of millions from the company during the transition. These are grave accusations which could close down Threads and could lead to lengthy prison sentences for anyone involved. Meta has obviously denied the accusations, saying that nobody from Twitter has worked on designing Threads. But that begs the question, why is Elon Musk then going to such great lengths to stop Threads? Now, by releasing a direct competitor to Twitter, Zuckerberg is going for the throat. He's aiming to take down Twitter, control more of the social media space, strengthen his hold on power, and humiliate his rival. The only question is, will this actually work? It's expected to release on the 6th of July 2023, and Threads is solely designed to replace Twitter. Now, Zuckerberg's hope is that he'll be able to recreate what he did to MySpace all those years ago. With one final push, he might finally be able to monopolize yet another chunk of the internet. And this couldn't come at any worse time for Musk, as the business side of Twitter is looking very shaky right now, and Musk has always known how bad of a business model Twitter really is.
Do you have any regrets about buying Twitter?
I think it was something that needed to be done. I'd say that the pain level of Twitter has been extremely high. This hasn't been some sort of party. It's been really quite a stressful situation.
And it's a huge reason for his lawsuit against Threads. But before we continue, I want to talk about a video sponsor. Have you ever Googled yourself and was shocked to see your personal information exposed on one of those public listing sites? Data brokers are making a fortune selling your information to robocallers, spammers, and others who want to learn more about you, like where you live. And that's why I'm excited to tell you about today's sponsor, Aura. Aura can identify data brokers exposing your info and submit opt-out requests on your behalf. Now, brokers are legally required to remove your info if you ask them to, but if they make it super hard to do, let Aura handle it for you. And you can try Aura for free for 2 weeks using my link. Aura also does so much to protect you and your family from online threats you can't see. It's super easy to set up, and you don't have to download several different apps to get things like parental controls, antivirus, VPN, password management, identity theft insurance, and more. Instead, you get everything in one at an affordable price. So let Aura do the hard work of keeping you safe online so that you can focus on other tasks with peace of mind. You can either let people continue to exploit and profit off your private information, or you can go to aura.com/moon to start your 2-week free trial. Also linked down in the description below. But the lawsuit isn't uncalled for. I mean, Meta's approach to business has always been described as vulture-like, as they acquire competitors or destroy them by copying their product. And this exact copycat culture was actually exposed during a US House Judiciary Committee probe, which revealed emails from Facebook employees stating, quote, "Copying is faster than innovating." When asked by the Judiciary Committee whether Facebook ever threatened to clone the products of another company, whilst also trying to acquire that company, Zuckerberg responded, "Not that I recall." Which is a little weird considering that this is a fundamental part of what Meta actually is. It all started in 2011 with Facebook check-in deals, which was a direct copy of Groupon and Living Social. Then there was Facebook Gifts, which started in September 2012, a direct copy of the gifting app Karma. Then Facebook acquired Pass in 2013, or Facebook Messages with Email, which was Facebook's attempt to kill Gmail, or the infamous Instagram Stories that was a direct copy of Snapchat. Not to mention Facebook Pope, which was just a direct copy of Snapchat itself, that was launched in December 2012. Some celebrities are already testing the waters. Gordon Ramsay and Shakira, for example, have already made their first Threads posts after being given early access. And there's a lot of reasons for Musk to be worried here, especially considering Twitter's recent history. So what's Zuckerberg's plan? Well, he's been pretty blatant about his ambition to steal Twitter's 250 million users, as the release statements describe it as a text-based conversation app, and anyone who's used the app knows how similar it is, blending in Instagram's aesthetic with Twitter's functionality. And Meta's ultimate power here is that anyone who has Instagram will very easily have a Threads account, as the two apps share the same accounts. And you'll be able to migrate your followers over as well, giving Instagram users a seamless way in. And the app actually shares the name Threads with an early attempt by Zuckerberg to supplant Snapchat. That app is also pretty much identical to what it was meant to replace, but it never really took off, as Meta was forced to shut it down shortly after release, deciding instead to just steal Snapchat's story system and add it to Instagram. But this attempt to steal another app's user base might not fall flat on its face. Zuckerberg made a start with Facebook by undercutting and replacing MySpace. In what felt like an instant, MySpace fell off the map and Zuckerberg was handed a tech monopoly worth tens of billions, controlling the entire world's information. In fact, in an interview with Lex Fridman, Zuckerberg went into his reasoning for the app, saying that Twitter should have 1 billion users, not just 350 million. With Threads, that's clearly his goal here. Although in the same interview, Zuckerberg actually praised Musk's choice to make the company leaner.
You know, I do think that Elon led a push early on to make Twitter a lot leaner. A lot of the specific principles that he pushed on, basically trying to make the organization more technical around decreasing the distance between engineers at the company and him, like fewer layers of management. I think that those were generally good changes.
Firing thousands of workers at once is something they've both got in common, so it's understandable that they'd be able to bond over it. However, there's actually a few reasons why they might succeed with Thread. For one, The integration with Instagram means millions of users have already joined hassle-free, and because Meta has the servers and infrastructure ready, this huge influx of users hasn't really caused many problems for Threads yet. And one of the hidden advantages that Zuckerberg has is his reputation with advertisers as well. Whilst Twitter struggles to bring in ad revenue, Thread can just hook itself into Meta's monolithic advertising machine. If the ad revenue isn't enough, Meta's already announced that Threads will have its own subscription service. It'll work just like Twitter's new verified subscription system, charging users a monthly fee to get the badge. But because it's a new app and it doesn't have the same connotations that Twitter's blue checkmark had, they've gotten virtually no backlash for this. The deciding difference will most likely be celebrities though, as people only use Twitter because pretty much every public figure is on it. If they all start switching to Threads, then it won't take long before they bring their followers with them. And this process is already underway. Almost every notable person is on Threads right now thanks to Instagram. But here's where the problem lies. Threads is designed to cater to a specific demographic that aligns with Zuckerberg's views, and the platform exerts an incredibly high degree of control over users' feeds, censoring or removing any content that doesn't align with its narrative. I mean, Meta's already deleting entire threads on Thread that goes against anything that Meta doesn't like. Threads like this story about cocaine being found in the White House that was deleted after people in the thread were wondering if it could possibly have been Hunter Biden. And even if you follow someone whose opinions haven't been approved by the platform standards, you then receive a warning and a reprimand from the platform's fact-checking system, creating an environment where only certain views are tolerated and dissenting opinions aren't allowed. But it's not just Thread users who should be worried. Elon Musk is in the most danger from this. In fact, Elon Musk desperately tried to reverse his deal to buy Twitter months after negotiations began. Lawsuits were threatened by both sides, and it looked like the buyout might just evaporate after years of waiting. But eventually it became too late for Musk to back out, and after threats of lawsuits from both sides that nearly led to a trial, the $44 billion deal went through. And this was only the start of the chaos. Once Musk was in charge, he began by sacking around half of the workforce in just a few days. From the chief executive and the CFO to the lowliest engineers working on Twitter servers, nobody was safe. This was one of the most dramatic firing sprees any recent company has seen before, and this was simply because the company was just months away from bankruptcy.
Twitter was tracking to lose over $3 billion a year and had $1 billion in the bank. So that's 4 months to death. If we do not cut costs immediately, this is not a uncaring situation. It's like if the whole ship sinks, then nobody's got a job.
And after Elon Musk would go on to fire around 80% of the Twitter staff, this left the multi-billion-dollar app with just under 2,000 employees. But what Elon Musk has done with Twitter recently is remarkable. He's made Twitter a bastion of free speech again. He reversed Trump's permanent ban, exposed the government involvement in Twitter, highlighting the censorship machine that was poisoning social media behind the scenes. And yet this came at a giant cost. Although his silencing of critics from places like Turkey has left some doubt as to how free the app truly is. But nonetheless, there is absolutely no doubt that Twitter is a bastion of free speech in the social media space. And the cost of this was huge. The media, governments, and every celebrity you can think of would be quick to denounce Twitter. And because these big woke companies are now afraid of Musk's Twitter, this has led to over half of Twitter's advertising clients to leave since the takeover. And so when Musk tried to supplement this revenue by charging for verified badges, things only got worse. Originally, this was reserved for celebrities, brands, and organizations to prove their identity. The blue checkmark showed people that you were important enough to deserve notice, being the only thing that could separate you from everyone else. That was until Musk changed it into a subscription. Suddenly, anyone willing to pay $8 a month could have their own special checkmark. People used it to impersonate brands with wild results, with one user impersonating the pharmaceutical giant Eli Lilly, and after they posted about giving away free insulin, the real company's stock fell by over 4%. In general, it soured people off Twitter even more, but more importantly, it annoyed a bunch of celebrities. People with tens or hundreds of millions of followers are what gives Twitter its advantage above everyone else. And so if they are driven away, Musk then has a problem. But don't get me wrong, there's been plenty of other Twitter scandals. Like the time that Musk got into a Twitter feud with a disabled employee after he accused them of freeloading and then fired them. He quickly apologized for this and offered the guy his job back, but it still ruined his reputation. And then the most recent scandal became one of the most damaging, was throwing blame at AI companies. Musk announced the amount of tweets people could view was being capped to save on server costs. He said that AI companies in particular have been spamming it with requests for data, something called scraping. According to him, it's put massive financial pressure on the servers to keep up. Along with this, he restricted even just reading Twitter to registered users, being yet another decision in the last year that makes Twitter less usable for the majority of people. Advertisers won't be happy either. They rely on people mindlessly scrolling for hours to get enough attention. And so with hard limits being put in place, the adverts would reach far fewer people. It's unsurprising that tons of competitors have suddenly popped up to try and take Twitter's crown. Truth Social was one of the first, founded by Trump after he was banned by Twitter. Although with Trump considering a return to Twitter, it seems unlikely that his Twitter clone will last very long. Parler, another alternative, came and went, as it suffered from a reputation of extremism, and its remaining audience of disenfranchised Trump supporters left for Truth Social. Jack Dorsey, the former CEO and co-founder of Twitter, then put his weight under Blue Sky, although a lack of public attention means it probably won't ever leave the ground. Then there's Mastodon. While it's gained the most traction of the Twitter alternatives, it's really unlikely it will ever succeed in overthrowing Twitter. But the most shrewd and potentially successful attempt is coming right now from Meta. They've been having nearly as much trouble as Twitter recently, also owing to the decisions of their CEO Zuckerberg, who's poured billions and billions into his failed VR projects, where he literally tried to create his own universe inside of his metaverse. But when it launched, it had the same graphics as a PlayStation 2 game, and this was the final nail in the coffin. People then called the metaverse and its lifeless avatars creepy and unsettling, and they weren't wrong. Facebook use amongst young people in particular has been dying out as well, and it won't be long before the user base starts to dry up entirely. And with the metaverse in a tailspin, and Apple muscling in on Zuckerberg's VR plan, Meta needs a way to stay relevant, and Threads is their gambit. If Zuckerberg can add Twitter to their tech monopoly, it'll keep Meta at the top for years to come. But this might not purely be a business decision. Musk and Zuckerberg have been gunning for each other for years. It began when the two billionaires were collaborating on a satellite program. Zuckerberg wanted to launch a satellite that would increase internet coverage over Africa, and to do this he was using SpaceX and Elon Musk to launch it into orbit. Just as the rocket was about to take off, this happened. Almost immediately after the accident, Zuckerberg made a video in which he bitterly lamented the loss of his satellite. He was clearly blaming SpaceX and Musk for its explosion, although he didn't outright say it. Although even at this point, it's not clear that it wasn't just a publicity stunt. Despite his claims of ownership, Facebook didn't actually own the satellite. They were just working with the company that did. They had also taken out a massive insurance deal on the satellite, meaning they didn't actually lose out. It was more so a public embarrassment against Zuckerberg, ruining his ego, and the feud would carry on from here. A year later, Zuckerberg criticized Musk's worries about AI, all whilst Musk deleted the Tesla and SpaceX Facebook pages. They exchanged memes and insults online, but the real attacks began when Musk took over Twitter, and it was at this point that Zuckerberg realized he had an opportunity to undermine him. We can be sure that he's been celebrating every new controversy coming from Musk's takeover. And unbelievably, there's even been talks of a cage fight between the two billionaires, with the two supposedly being in talks with Dana White, the president of the UFC, to organize an MMA fight in Vegas.
Both guys are absolutely dead serious about this. This would be the biggest fight ever in the history of the world.
Whether it will actually go beyond social media though remains to be seen, and I highly doubt this will ever happen. However, despite this rivalry, Zuckerberg and Musk could be in the process of setting up a two-company monopoly over Twitter's niche. Companies often play into a rivalry when together they have control over a market. Coke and Pepsi's famous rivalry is a great example of this. By setting themselves up as the only two choices and only ever talking about each other, they frame themselves as the only real options. And so if the two apps can coexist, then they won't ever have to worry about third parties like Mastodon or Blue Sky. And Threads does seem like a good choice for establishing itself as a real competitor to Twitter, but if it eventually wins out, there could be grave consequences here, as Meta's already got a massive monopoly in the tech world. With Facebook, WhatsApp and Instagram all under their ownership, they control a huge chunk of online communication. They control the flow of the world's information.
The world's population is over 7 billion. Close to 3 billion of us are active Facebook users, and that scale creates power.
And if they can take Twitter's niche and its user base, they'll be in control of the majority of online discourse. Then when you add their attempts in to dominate the VR market, then you can see how big the problem really is. And it's actually for this reason that they can't release Threads in the EU yet, as they haven't even got past the regulators, who will be quick to denounce this. But then the question is, what is Meta gonna do with this monopoly once they get it? The same thing they've been doing already, stealing data and selling it to advertisers. Now obviously Threads comes with the same privacy stripping features as Meta's other apps. It's already been reported that Threads will monitor its users' health data, financial history, contact information, location, browser history, what you search, and whatever they do on the app itself. Every little bit about you.
Would you be comfortable sharing with us the name of the hotel you stayed in last night?
No.
If you've messaged anybody this week, would you share with us the names of the people you've messaged?
Senator, no, I would probably not choose to do that publicly here.
I think that may be what this is all about.
It's something that Musk has criticized as well, although Twitter does also take on a ton of personal data from its users as well. But with Meta's history of censorship, controlling news stories.
In breaking news this morning, social media giant Facebook has followed through on its threat, restricting people in Australia from viewing news content.
Working with governments to censor all opposition, it makes this development look rather sinister. But what about free speech? Meta's privacy problems, along with their potential for monopoly, are too big for the EU to stomach. Recent changes to the law made Meta's previous justification for taking so much user data unlawful. So now it's doubtful if Thread will ever actually be released in the EU. If they were going to release that, Meta would need to actually ask people whether they want to send them their personal data. But considering how closely Meta guards their legal rights to steal your info, it's highly unlikely that they'll ever give in. Meta was actually just recently fined for over $1 billion by the EU for sending Facebook user data to the USA without telling anyone, which made it clear that the Facebook Meta empire is becoming too powerful to stop. And seeing as Threads will do exactly the same thing as Meta always does, they probably want to avoid another fine for now, because fines are just another cost of doing business for these companies. But it will hurt a lot more if Threads never actually takes off and they get fined anyway. But considering they've already had 10 million users in 24 hours, it's very unlikely that this isn't going to go anywhere. And so by integrating these apps, Meta will finally be able to build a far more detailed profile on everyone. A hidden benefit for Meta though is that they can make it much harder for you to delete your user data, because they've linked the accounts people use for Instagram and Threads, and so you can't actually delete your Threads data without deleting your Instagram account as well. You can only temporarily disable your Threads account instead, meaning that once you sign up to Threads, you are coerced into never deleting it again, giving you far more pressure to stay on the app rather than Twitter. And this is all part of Meta's grand plan for their business model. Enamored with the Chinese WeChat system, Zuckerberg's dream is for Meta to control every part of people's online lives. And as we move into the online world at an ever-increasing pace, this means that Meta will control your entire life. And so with the Facebook app's popularity fading away, Meta's going all in to try and find other apps that they can addict you to. And they've been doing this for years already, stealing Reels from TikTok, stories from Snapchat, and adding both of them to Instagram. They even recreated Craigslist through Facebook Marketplace. And with Threads, they're taking the next step in this vision. They'll be able to steal Twitter's crown and possibly take some of Reddit's audience as well. Their announcement of giving a space to different separate communities on the platform looks just like Reddit's model. And the idea of Meta achieving this and creating a popular super app is really unsettling. I've already made countless videos on Mark Zuckerberg and the metaverse, and it should be clear to everyone by now how dangerous this is when one company can control the entire flow of information around the world. Whoever controls the algorithms today gets to choose the president tomorrow. By controlling more of our digital lives, this would give Meta unprecedented control over what people see online and how they live their lives. I mean, just look at how China's government and Tencent's WeChat censor their people. They actively monitor every person's word and all of their posts on WeChat, scanning for anything that, quote, undermines national unity. And so by working together, the creators of WeChat, Tencent, and the CCP can then keep the majority of their people in this isolated bubble online. And if they never close WeChat, or WeChat makes it incredibly hard to delete the app, just like Threads is doing right now, then they can never escape the CCP's watchful gaze. And we're already seeing people in the West going to prison for saying the wrong things on Facebook. And whilst Meta's plans may be a little less ambitious than the CCP's, they'll definitely take advantage of their powerful new position. Control of a super app would give them an effective monopoly on everyone's lives, and they'll use this data and their super app monopoly to interfere with politics even more than they do now. We've already seen how just control over Twitter's niche alone can influence actual elections. Trump's ban from Twitter, whilst he was still a sitting president for example, showed how easily they can damage someone's future political career, taking away his voice in the online world, the world that is the most important in today's age. Never mind all the censoring of any political stories that went against the Biden narrative. Things like the Hunter Biden laptop story that was actively censored across Silicon Valley by the FBI and multiple other government intelligence agencies. And however you feel about Trump, silencing him was a dangerous precedent to set. I mean, Meta has already banned him from all of their platforms, and so it stands to reason Threads will be exactly the same. A less free, more censored, more controlled, politically affiliated, government coordinated social media site, allowing Meta to silence any political figures who say the wrong things that don't fit with the narrative, and advertisers will love it. More and more people are jumping on board, and the future of censorship and political manipulation won't be based around straight outright bans. Instead, Meta and other social media companies are interested in subtle platform-wide manipulation. Meta will treat Threads just like they've treated their other apps, suppressing anything controversial whilst pushing pushing their own agendas to the front. Their algorithms then guide people towards what Meta thinks is the right answer, allowing you to find the truth all within the confines of what Meta allows you to see. And by using the catch-all term of misinformation, Meta will then continue to suppress things which need to be talked about, just like the Hunter Biden laptop story or the lab leak theory, just to name a few. And if they can succeed in turning Instagram into a catch-all super app, they'll have even more control over what people say. And right now it does seem like Threads is going to take off in a big way. As of right now, Zuckerberg is already bragging about getting 30 million users already. All the major celebrities have joined Threads, people like Kim Kardashian and Mr. Beast. And this means people are willingly switching to Meta's sanitized, controlled platform. They're happy to trade away the freedom that Twitter is actually providing us right now, one of the only free speech platforms in the world, for a more flashier interface with faster loading times and more censorship. And whilst there are definitely issues with Twitter and Elon Musk, Twitter is undoubtedly one of the only bastions of free speech left in the world, and people are happy to watch it burn, which is why Threads is going to take over. And that's why eventually Threads, Instagram, Facebook, and Meta's other apps like WhatsApp will all be consolidated into one super app. And then this super app will then be integrated into the wider metaverse. Now, it's uncertain how the integration will actually work in the future, but it's the next logical step. Regardless, Meta having control of the ways people interact through the internet and the devices that they choose to use doing it should absolutely terrify you. Threads is just the next step for Meta to monopolize how humans interact with each other. And with the Threads app popping off right now, this is a dark sign of where things are gonna go.
Gonna put Bobby Lee into sketches. So Bobby Lee in the wild, Bobby Lee doing this, and I could play myself. Right? So that's how that whole thing started.
Like
so
relieves the pressure a little bit.
Yeah,
performance anxiety.
So you're back. You're rehired.
Yeah, and I was on it for 6 more years.
Wow, that's unheard of.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Was that producer who told you you weren't funny?
He was. I have a sketch. I don't want to say his name because I'm not gonna. Because I love the guy.
Oh, you're friends with the guy now.
Oh, I love him because one of my most popular sketches online he wrote. And it's called Dragon Hunter 2. You know what I mean? And don't play it now. But like, you know, I mean, he wrote me bangers after that.
Hey, all right.
Yeah, no.
Did you ever talk where he goes out?
No. You know what? I'll be honest with you. I sucked.
He was doing that locally.
I was fucking terrible, dude. I really was. I wasn't ready for a TV show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I because of my charisma and my commitment when I perform, I convinced all these people to get me on the show. But when I showed up at the show, I mean, I'm doing a show with groundling, you know what I mean, main company guys.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm Mike McDonald, like Michael Hitchcock's a writer on the show. I mean, everyone on there are like sketch gods, and if they were stand-ups, they were like Frank Caliendo, who was a master impressionist. Ari Spears is a great impressionist.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to do anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just had the thing of like, I'm gonna go for it, kind of a vibe, like I'm gung ho, which is, I think, at the end, has always worked for me. You know what I mean?
Gung ho is your uncle, but
yeah. So anyway, I mean, it's not funny, but I just
no, that's fucking fascinating. That's a great story because you hear about these John Belushi's or Chris Farley's. You got out. You could have gone that way.
Yeah, I could have died. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was amazing. And then yeah.
Too bad that Korean man who saved you didn't give a shit about white people, or we could still have Chris Farley.
Yes, good point.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah, but it's interesting, you know. But I slip, you know. And then after that, after 17, I stayed sober for 17 years.
Wow.
From that Connie Chung thing to, and then I relapsed again. So it's like it can happen.
But it's pretty far away.
17 years though, and how long did you fall off for?
I can last about 3 or 4 months.
Wow. Yeah, I think that's fair.
But look at Santino. I mean, like one time we were in fucking Cancun, and he opens the door to my hotel room, and there's poo smeared on the walls. There's poo all over my body, vomit, and I'm like confused. I'm like, where am I? With poo all over my hands.
That's.
Yeah, whoa.
He's like, Bobby, we're on in 5 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, that's essentially what it was. Like,
what were you doing, Connie Chung again?
yeah. I mean, I get drunk, and I just black out, and you know, I mean, and things happen.
And you do it in secret, like because Andrew, I've drank with Andrew a bunch.
Yeah.
He's like a drinker like us.
He's
like
a good drunk.
He's a good drunk.
Yeah.
No, I do it privately.
Yeah.
Just shot.
Oh, that's bad. That's bad.
And I poo myself, and I make, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Face makeup, you know what I mean?
The black face.
You know what I mean? All that
I
stuff.
kind of want to party with you now. I mean, it sounds pretty fun.
But yeah, I'm a mess, dude.
Whoa.
Well, I'm glad you're sober. I'm glad.
How long have we done?
We've been a while. How long has this been?
Hour and 20? Hour 10? Well, we cut a lot out. You know, we made a lot of jokes. Let's keep going. But yeah.
How long do you usually go, Joe?
Hour and a half. Yeah, we got
I'm sorry,
time.
did I fucked up the momentum?
No, you're great.
Do you have shows tonight or anything?
Nothing.
Oh, okay, great.
No, and I appreciate you being so open and vulnerable, man. I mean, it's that.
Well, no, because some of these stories I've told before. I feel that I don't want to, like, you know what I mean? I want to come up with something new, but, like, you know what I mean? I haven't told that story in years, but...
No, it's a great story.
Yeah.
It's also, like, I didn't mean to laugh when you say that. It's it's so tragic that it's, like, one of the things I think about. I'm like, what a bad set, but I didn't shit my pants.
Yeah.
That's like a thing I actually think sometimes.
Yeah.
Could have been worse. I could have shit myself. And you actually shit yourself. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But that's the problem with being sober is you get less stories. When you're drinking and doing pills and meth,
that's a great Jim Jeffries joke. You know, that joke where he goes, all their stories end with, and then I got home.
Yeah.
I love that.
I mean, things happen, even in this sobriety. I've had the craziest year of fucking imaginable.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like, I had that, me and Kalila break out.
Yeah, that was wild.
You had that war with Brendan Shaw.
That was wild.
I mean, there was some canceling things.
Is that war still going, or is it?
No, that ended. But I'm just saying, so much shit happened this year, but great things happened as well.
Oh, I hope so.
And when you go out and you try to live a big life, big things happen.
Big or good or bad.
Good or bad, and I just kind of, like, you know, stay like this. I try to. I mean, I've been sad and super sad this year, but I've been super happy, and it's just been.
It's a roller coaster.
It's a roller coaster, but I have a big life, and I love it.
All right.
I love every single moment of it because it's like.
Well, you like the pain, which I don't dig.
What do you mean the pain?
You said you like the pain. You go in the woods, you cry.
No, that was back in the day. That was with the pussy.
Okay.
But, like, all I'm saying is like, no, I mean, I don't like pain.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I don't like. But here's the deal, dude. It's like, it's what Mitzi used to say to me, man. You know. She said to me years ago, she goes, I was driving her around when she used to come down to San Diego, and me and Freddie Soto used to drive her around town, you know what I mean? We'd go to steakhouses and stuff, and I wear my Comedy Store shirt and stuff, and one night we're at Bully's restaurant, and she goes, you know what makes a star? You know, and I go, what? She goes, half the people have to love you, but half the people have to hate you as well.
Interesting.
Right. You just got to keep them talking.
Right. Keep them talking.
And I go, and I didn't know what she meant by that, but I think I have a better understanding of it now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Reggie Jackson said you ain't nobody till somebody hates you.
Yeah.
Or something like that. But I just watched the John McEnroe documentary.
Oh, wow.
Everybody hated him, but everybody loved him too. He was throwing the rack and he's yelling.
I saw him at the Knicks game a few weeks ago, and he, like, didn't remember me at all, but I fucking bombed one of his dumb benefits.
Oh, I did one of his too.
Oh my god, worst crowds of all time.
Yeah, they were tough.
Oh my god, I remember I did get a big laugh out of him though. I remember this.
Yeah,
these women
he's
are
good.
These women just in the front row just talking my entire set. And I go, at some point I go, lady, shut the fuck up. And I see McEnroe go, yes.
Yeah.
I got
Those
McEnroe.
things are nightmares. Why do you guys do those?
They pay well.
No, that was a charity gig.
Oh,
I didn't
mine paid very well.
Oh, did it?
I did one like 2 months ago. It was killer, and he was in the front row, and he was great. But yeah, the crowd
I did one
sucked.
for free. It was like a benefit. I mean, it was like, you know.
But I mean, aren't you at a point where you can go? You know, I know it's a lot of money, but I'd rather.
It wasn't when I did it. Was no money. I mean, I literally did because they were like, it's for his charity. So I was like, yeah, fuck, I'll do a free gig for a charity.
So you're willing to do anything like a nightmare gig?
I just did the worst corporate. I mean, I've done some bad corporates.
Yeah.
And I did one in Toronto not too long ago. I bombed for an hour and 20 straight. Like, not one laugh, not a hiccup.
Why'd you do the extra 20?
I was trying to get a laugh to end on.
Yeah.
Yes! Big boy basketball! Big boy basketball, we back in there, bro. They doubted me, bro. They doubted me, bro. I blew that man, that truck came, bro. I still. Gang, 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 gang. Bro. Bro, you already know what it is, bro. I said, gang, 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 gang. Young man 995, send me the link, bro. I might watch it. Bro, they doubted me. I went clunk, 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 clunk. Bro, they doubted me, bro. Bro, we is not play around over here, bro. Y'all heard? Y'all heard? Bro, you need to chill out, bro. Hey, bro, you need to chill out, bro. Hey, bro, you need to chill out, my dude.
I'm too demanding when they hit a double coat the candy. I'm so high, no landing. Keeping that Glock there steady. Rocking this shit confetti. They all let it go on the telly. They all wanna rub my belly. I got my dogs out on popping at the Ritz. I got them coming in. Shit look like a blitz. She wanna check me up. She wanna check my feet. I pull up the Maybach jumping. Shawty better check my hits. I don't know why they all can't stand me. I guess I'm too demanding. Private landing. I guess I keep my candy. She's super so good with a beach is sandy. I got an Yoko, but they call me Randy. Diamonds and Margiela, AP Canario. She deserve a patty, cause she one of the members, for sure. When it comes to Sadaba, money not a problem. Turned me to a killer, I just smashed the model. Yeah, Tiffany come blue, her pussy good and pink. Pink Chicago in the winter time, I'm ordering minks. The mink selling out arenas, I just murked the streets. The street, copping a brand new castle in the Middle East. My bitch said Indian style when we sit down and eat. I can do this shit one take, but my style ain't free. I'll take hoes on no dateless, they got pretty feet. I swear, $250,000 on her head, $250,000 on her head. She mopped it down that bitch, I can't feel my leg. I swear, I done sliced off your hoe for a crumb of bread. Hoe got rats going out the roof, they bustin' through the ceiling. My new bitch, she the truth, showed me a couple million. Back on the head, but it's like, oh, girl, you finna stop. I'm off a beat. What the fuck? I'm in the trees. Holla up. What you need? Got it up. Keep going. 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 I guess I'm spinning, cup of cup I'm leaning. Guess I'm spinning, cup of cup I'm leaning. Need you to lean in. She wanna come this way, heat it up, microwave. Heat it up, microwave.
Boozer man,
she wanna ride my way. She wanna come this way. She wanna. Oh, it's how you feeling tonight. Oh, it's how you feeling tonight. I guess I'm too demanding. I guess I'll keep my candy. Just touched down in Miami. I guess I'll keep my candy. I guess I'm too demanding. She wanna ride my way. She wanna ride my chain. Heat it up, microwave. Come on, share my plate. She wanna ride my way. She wanna ride my chain. Heat it up, microwave. Come on, share my plate. I'm finna stop. I'm off a beat.
up, little boy? Ooh, you thought I lost control.
The thug, baby. Yeah. Metro!
Metro.
And what? Metro booming, want some more, nigga. Shit. Shoot him in, man, like Ricky, but not sleep. Spit like 7 bands on the tricolor pit. All my signs red like a stop, nigga, no pit. Motor purple, nigga, high like fucking Marshall's wall. Ain't no far yesterday, I was just walking wall. Left my baby mama, left my bitch in Barbie wall. All red, diggy suit on, right now, Slauson wall.
Strong marijuana.
I smoke bad, daddy Hercules. Strong marijuana. She looked at him, oh now she watching me. Be like mother, bitch, don't speak to that guava knee. All the stepping mounted up, I can't forget the teeth. Try to top, shoot birds at the office. For them boys, they costing us, they stalking us. They know they old lady not running, they fall for us. We so tired of taking losses, ain't no more chalking us.
Before you buy $1 million,
Either test out the hard. You got a question? Go to Watch Life.
run.
Sunday morning.
Either test out the horizontal mom.
He was in The Mummy.
No!
That? Everyone was like, "Is Tom Cruise over?" And he was just like,
"I'll do Mission Impossible."
No,
Oh,
you know.
keep switching
And then he made Mission
videos.
Impossible.
Speaking of
his
which,
whole thing.
wasn't Russell Crowe in that? The Mummy? Yeah, he was going to be Van Helsing or something. They were trying to set up the whole universe, you know?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I saw it.
Oh.
It was so bad.
Dude, I
Mummy
saw it
was
too, and I don't even remember
so
Russell
bad.
Crowe.
He was like Dr. Frankenstein or something.
Oh, marijuana.
Anyway, yeah, so that's what's up.
I want Russell Crowe to get back into real acting again, like when he.
You know what? You know what? You know what? I need to play it on my phone. Strong marijuana. Dude, seriously?
stepped on by a bird, which is a sign of good luck in some cultures. Make sure you don't flick it on her boy. I'm gonna flick it. Gentlemen, we're optimists. Correct. Most people, when they get a flat tire, when a seagull shits on their arm, it ruins their day. Me, it's the opposite. One time I saw, it was a raccoon, and it bit his leg and it gave him rabies, and he turned that around and made it positive. As I always say, mind over matter, and I fought the rabies away. Right. He didn't get the shot or anything. It's wild. I went from... Yeah, he was spit the rabies. Dude, he had a video of him when so much spit was coming out. It was scary, man. Yeah, he's dying, bro. He's dying. People. Yeah, I think you gotta hit it one more time for the boys. One more time. Well, right now I'm perfectly healthy, but back then I was like. This is community, baby. This is community. Have the best of weekends. I want you to enjoy that champagne, man. And don't get bit by any of those raccoons. Yeah, the raccoons. Because rabies is a bitch. So we're in a Harlem liquor store, aka a maze. Well, he does look and feel like a maze, but it's very easy maze. Is it an easy maze? How do you get to the alcohol? All the cheese. Dude, the Chandon for $21 is pretty good. Let's get 4 bottles. Is it twist off? It's probably gotta be twist off. It's gonna be twist off. Who wants to put in manual labor before they enjoy a beverage? I mean, it's sort of like a physical way to kind of show a woman that you can handle her vagina. I like that. I mean, in your case, it's very misleading because you are in a notoriously awful lay. Kids, don't spread that rumor. He's very selfish. I have a tomcat in the sack. 4 bottles of Chandon. What are you drinking, man? I'm drinking some Tito's. Hell yeah, right to the point. Do a little documentary on what? On Harlem. Yeah, we're comedians. We had a show last night. You're a baseball player. Give me a baseball. We saved a drunkard at a comedy. And now we're hanging out in Harlem. We want to see a joke. Tell me a joke. Go ahead, Danny. I want to hear a joke. All right, that'd be funny. Our buddy Nico has a really good one. And you know, I had sex in the car for the first time. Yeah. That was the hearse. You're really deflating our status in town telling stinkers like that, man. God, dude. Listen, you know what an owl is, right? An owl. Yeah. Ooh. Right. Ooh, yeah. So, if I ask you a question, what's the difference between a black owl and a white owl? Bigger cock on the black one. Oh, yeah, sure. These kids over here, we saw a bunch of frat boy, high school quarterback-looking douches running a car wash on our turf. I'm just going to say our turf for shorthand. I'd like to call it our turf from now on as well. What's up, boys? What are you white boys doing this far uptown? Car wash? What's the cost? $10 a wash. It's the Salvation Army. Can I see your ID? You old enough to be with these guys? Cool. I'll take your word for it. What? Danny, why did you crouch down so much to hear what he was saying? Well, I mean, physics, Leo, was the answer. Physics. He'll have his growth spurt. You guys are young, right? How old are you, man? You're gonna be a proper tower by senior year. Yeah, or you could just be a jockey, because boy, would you be light on a horse, buddy. Hey, like Toby Maguire in that Seabiscuit film. Exactly. Wow. He wouldn't eat, Danny. He wouldn't eat. Do this for me, please. I want you to climb on my back, kind of like a piggyback, to see how light you would be with a horse. He's Italian, so he's basically a big dumb horse. Really? Yeah, he's basically a big dumb horse. You're an asshole. That's true. And shortstop boards, uncircumcised Mo. Uncircumcised Mo, the greasy Italian stallion, at the starting line. He prepares to take off. He's gone. We don't live here, but I feel like spiritually we do, if that makes sense. Every now and then I'll look at this guy and he's staring out into the abyss and I'm like, where'd you go, man? Where'd you go? To Harlem. Exactly. He loves Harlem. We're gonna go check out the rest of the car wash here. Great. Hey, what's your name? Danny. You from Harlem? Hell yeah, dude. He lives in Harlem. Harlem versus gentrification. Yeah! Harlem, baby! Harlem! Man, that's for Harlem. Gentrification, dude.
You got lucky, bro. That was pure luck.
I found 2 of the top champions in Raid Shadow Legends, and here's why you want them too.
Keep me here forever. Or at least just for a while, give me never ending.
We are outside private consultants, and we can get you an A. We can get that letter changed to an A. If you listen to us for about 5 minutes, we're gonna get that letter swapped for you. Go ahead. Number one, I wouldn't serve this dish right here to a dying dog. Dice que se ve muy rico. ¿Y qué es? Whatever this is, tell them it's done. I have been saying that you think it looks marvelous, and that it's a cultural thing. Do you want to cradle their ego, or do you want to get them an A? Because right now you're doing the former. She says that you have no idea what you're talking about, and that yeah, people love it. People love it. Miss, do I look like a guy who doesn't know what he's talking about? With such hope.
Oh my god, they always give me these hard ass motherfuckers, bro. Bro.
And now I have to tell him it's a sham. Yeah. Okay, so there's tremendous buildup followed by letdown. Yeah. Sort of what every woman feels when you take your pants off. That is untrue. It is proportional to.
Run it back, Turbo. What's your name? Run it back, Turbo.
Leo, you leave the details to us. But tell them that whatever that dish is, it needs to be fed to the sewer rats. Banana hervido. So it's a green banana that's then boiled. Wait, Leo, can I interject for 1 second? Leo, can you tell her this looks like Yeti shit? Dice que se ve muy rico. She says it is good. She says it is good. Yeah, try it. Honestly. Stop. It's that bad. You know what? It's got some potassium.
Bro, they give me the hardest motherfuckers, bro.
Your hand off if you offer me that dish. Alright, amigos, vamos a volver con una A. Yes, dude, they're on board. Hey, tell them in Spanish. No. The health department. Hey, el health department que se vaya a la mierda. A la mierda. Hey,
He just put me. He put me and I fell. He put me and I fell. He put me and I fell. What is wrong with you?
we gotta go steal a corporate A, and we gotta deliver the A to that local business.
Bro, how did he recover?
Can we pass the liquor store, man? Oh yeah, we got this. Let's get some champagne. We're getting my boys some champagne. So you guys want some? Some Moet? Is that good stuff? How much is it per bottle? How much is Moet? How much is the Moet? $80? If I get a bottle of Moet, you gotta drink it with me. Yeah? You'll drink it with us right here, right now? Money talks. Also, drink it on the street talks because they know we're not feds. That's right, dude. 3 bottles of Moet. 3 bottles of Moet. Leo,
He
you speak
just
Spanish.
jumped
You
right
speak
over me.
like Cantonese? I don't.
It's like I wasn't even there.
You want to give it a shot? No. Actually. He thinks I'm so used to him in LA, he can translate and talk to everybody. Everybody working at a liquor store or most anywhere is Latino. Hey, whoever made that recommendation, they got a good palate, dude. It's good shit. We ain't around. And the boys get some Moet. Danny, these guys get pussy. I know, dude. Zero, dude. I can tell. What? Damn. Is that from LA? That's some LA stuff right there. What do you do out here, my man? What I do? I sell weed. Hell yeah. And hey, I want to say this right now. I love Harlem, man. This is love. Yeah. This is only the beginning. This is the fucking. I love Harlem, man. You always gotta help him dance, though, man. He can't dance for shit, dude. He can't dance for shit. Oh, I can't dance for shit? You can't dance for shit. Oh, yeah? You can't dance for shit. That was dope, dude. That shit was dope. Your small business has a partner that always puts you first.
I'm a Chicago Bull, bro.
Hey,
a little boy, bro. We got a little boy. We got a little boy, guys. This is a little boy. Hold on, bro. Hold on. Hold on, bro. Hold on. We got a little boy, bro. Go ahead and let him shoot, bro. Let him shoot. He don't want to shoot, bro. Oh, we got a little boy, bro. We got a little boy, bro. We got a little boy, bro. Don't leave me out of here. Oh, he coming in. Hey! I'm just big boy, bro. You know, this is big boy basketball, bro. Ain't nothing personal, man. It's just big boy basketball, bro. Ain't nothing personal. It's just big boy basketball. It's big boy basketball, bro. So look, you do that, you're gonna get dunked on, bro. Oh man. Oh, you don't get that brick out of here, bro. Big boy basketball, bro. Big boy basketball, bro. That's just big boy basketball, bro. That's just big boy basketball. This is just big boy basketball, bro.
You're a short guy with butterfly breath.
Like LED lights, so you can see, because like sometimes my bathroom's a little dark, you can see like the hairs as you're like making them, and so you like I don't mess up the line. I just keep the line nice and perfect. Easy maintenance. Manscaped has got you. They literally have some of the best products, and I personally use them like 100%. It's like I don't practice it so directly or enough to know exactly. When I have these conversations, I was talking to him like in the last pod I did, and I just find it interesting though how people say this is the one way is my way. Like you think that Christianity is the religion, right?
Yeah, every other religion is demonic.
Okay.
And they actually paid for it on earth.
So this is what's interesting to me. Why
You think he's slick, chat? Chat, you think he's slick? You think he's slick?
based on what you read and what someone else
You
told
think he's slick?
Yeah, but I have the strangest story of coming to Christ.
Okay.
Like, my story is, read the Bible, didn't fuck with it, didn't move me at all. The other books didn't really, I like, to be honest, the Quran was my favorite, right? And then I started, you know,
Bro, I'm flirting with this guy too much, bro.
there's fighters downtown that are gonna knock me out in front of my girlfriend, who's a bottle girl next to me, watching me fight these guys. I'd have anxiety. I'm like, I need to cheat. You know, I don't have time to learn martial arts. I don't have money. I don't have the time to even go to the fucking dojo and learn some karate shit. I need to cheat. These guys are all on steroids, Hell's Angels, stuff like that. So I would obsess over, like when I did stop bodybuilding, I still use compounds to increase my aggression. So I said, what are the most androgenic compounds? What is going to make me the most violent? What is going to keep the most fluids in my joints and
Sweet.
fucking skull? And what is going to keep me in the best mood, but also angry and frustrated? So for me, it was like Halo and D-Ball was always, that was amazing. But when I did Deca and D-Ball, or Deca and Halo, because I had no idea that the fighters, the amateur fighters, all take Jews. They were just like, oh, here's some Tyrannoball, here's some D-Ball. They didn't actually do it for their psychology, because in my head is soft soy boys, and I needed aggressive stuff. And what's funny is I fried my brain so much that I stayed very aggressive. Like my girlfriend's like, wow, you've been natural, I haven't seen a needle in months, but you changed forever. Like you're intense forever now. I was like, oh, that's interesting. So I realized amphetamine, Halo, and
Stop, bro. My shot is impeccable, bro. Look. Look. Impeccable, bro. See? He ain't on that, bro. He ain't on that, bro. Get to the bag, you know, to the bag over to the bag, and then thrusting over to the bag, 10,000 feet. That's according to the simulation theory.
And I'm sleeping them because of my temperament. I was much more aggressive.
Let's go for the formula, right? So let's talk about a bit about Eric Griffin. This Eric Griffin thing has been interesting to watch, right? He's been fucking trolled way better than I get trolled, to be fair. If I'm gullible, you know, Eric Griffin is like, you know, gullible with a capital G, mate. He's on another level. So he somehow got flipping trolled into, you know, having to defend his wife for working at fucking Target, which is fucking dumb, right? But, you know, his wife decided to go on Instagram Live and get a little bit chatty, and she revealed that she works at Target, and then that then, you know, got a leg of its own.
Bro, it's LeBron James. Bro, it's LeBron James. Dog, it's LeBron James.
Defending his wife's right to have a
I'm
job.
going against the infamous LeBron James.
Because in the process, he also
Oh my
inadvertently
God.
reveals that fucking Rachel pays for
Oh, he has it all.
so bizarre.
Oh
So this guy is
man,
meant to be
he's
like
6'8" and
world-renowned
everything,
comic.
bro.
He's been on TV. He's been on all the big podcasts. As Red Bar said, he's friends with everybody, right? He's had the good fortune of essentially getting in on the comedy, stand-up scene, or even podcasting scene early before most people did, and he still hasn't been able to put himself in a position where he can look after his partner, or at least, you know, pay his own bills for his own studio. But from what he said, he kind of cuts himself up in a bit. He basically revealed in a roundabout way that Rachel's job pays for the studio or something. Like, very, very odd and bizarre kind of behavior. But again, nothing to be surprised about when it comes to Russian comics, because they're essentially like adult babies, really. They haven't really grown up. They've all got Peter Pan syndrome. But let's see Eric Griffin defend his defending his wife's right to have a job. I think it might be this one actually. Is it this one? No, it's this one. It's this one. It's this one. Yeah, it's this one.
My phone or my iPad, so the universe is pretty connected. I really
Actually, let me put the thing down. So,
what's going on? I don't know what I want to talk about. I don't really like talking about this kind of stuff, but I just thought it was actually.
He got played so easily.
It's actually kind of funny, so I kind of want to talk about it.
Hold on. Sorry. You know he's being sassy and it's hurting his feelings, right? You know he's being. Brandon, she has to sleep with him and works at Target. Yo, Red Bar's ripping of him was so good. What did Red Bar say? He was like, what did Red Bar say? No, Red Bar basically said, oh, we thought you had money. That's why Rachel was with you. Now we find out you have no money and she has to work at Starbucks. Like, what the fuck is she with you for? And I was like, Jesus Christ, Red Bar, it's too much. Why is she with you if you have no money? Anyway, let's watch it.
It's actually kind of funny, so I kind of want to talk about it.
So, about it. Don't really want to talk about it, but you know, you guys have made me do it. I don't really care, you know, that kind of stuff.
This kind of stuff. But I just thought it's actually kind of funny. So I kind of want to talk about it. Even though I know what you guys are going to say. Some of you guys are going to be like, Griffin, don't read comments, forget the trolls. But this...
Why do they always do this? Why do they, when they read commenters, when they do an impersonation of a commenter, they always like a bit redacted. Why is it? Because if anything, doesn't that make it seem as if their fans are redacted in a way? You know, the people watching you are your fans. The people commenting on it are your fans. But then your fans always get the treatment. So you're calling all your fans redacted. Is that what you're doing? To what? To cope and make yourself feel better about yourself? Like, weird?
It's just a funny... It's funny to me. So, Rachel's watching TV a few weeks back, and she's watching some...
Whose TV is she watching? That's the most important question. Whose TV is she watching? Your TV or her TV? Who pays for the TV? Honestly, man, I can't believe it, man. I can't believe it. This guy's got like, anyway, this is
Right. And I don't normally talk about this, but she talked about it. So I said, okay, fine, if you want to talk about it, we talk about it. You know. So she's watching a movie, and she goes on Instagram and makes a video, and she says, on the video, on the movie she's watching, the girl works at Target. So Rachel, in her video, she's like, yeah, I relate to her because I work at Target. So I don't talk about this.
and you're hearing Rachel try to describe the plot of the OC. Yo, it's a good thing she was born with looks because fucking hell. Bless that young lady, but like, yeah, it was a lot.
It's a lot, but Rachel works at Target. She's worked at Target for years. She's actually the visual merchandiser.
Why would you say this shit? Honestly, you got played so easily. Visual merchandiser. So she's a VM. We all know what VMs are, man. Like, we've all worked in stores. I've worked in stores. There was a period in time, actually, when you're like under the age of like 25 or maybe even 19 and you work at the first store. There was a time when you looked at the visual merchandiser job as something to kind of like reach for. It was like the pinnacle because those guys got to like come in kind of at their own hours. They got to chat. They got to kind of, you know, be RE and do creative stuff on the window and whatnot on the merchandise. It's like you kind of felt jealous if you ever worked in a fashion store, retail store, whatever, and you had a visual merchandiser come in or team. You'd always feel a little bit jealous that you didn't have that job. But then obviously once you get older and you start actually making some decent money or working a decent job, you realize that a VM is not that far off from being a sales associate. Really and truly, it's just a different type of a sales associate, but it's not really that high up in any way, shape, or form. And the actual good role to have if you're in retail is being like an area manager. That's when you can start making some really good money. You can start traveling the world and stuff. Like I know certain people that I worked with in stores who started off as stockroom people and they worked their way up and became area managers of like huge department stores, and they manage like Europe, they manage North America, like they go to like conferences, they go to meetings, they have to fucking be in charge of, you know, choosing the fixtures and fittings for new stores. Like it gets crazy. But if you're just a VM at one store, essentially it's nothing, you know, it's not too far from, you know, basically being a stockroom assistant. It's not really that luxurious. But everyone is trying to, you know, starting to jazz it up a little bit. Jesus Christ, man.
From one of the stores. She always wanted to go into visual merchandising.
What kind of dreams and aspirations does this woman have? She's getting into retail at what? How old is she? Like, fucking hell, man. This is something that you do when you're young and have no money. Or if you have no skills. You just want to make money to pay rent. You don't get into it as like a passion. It's just
Bro, this game is cheating, bro. Bro, I ain't winning enough.
It's like when you're, it's like fashion and art and that kind of thing. So then, you know, she's
a Target visual merchandiser is not artistic.
My dream is to be a visual merchandiser.
There's only one visual merchandiser for each store.
How many managers do they have in each Target store? 17? Come on, man. This fucking guy. This is... You know what is funny though? You know what is funny? I wonder how the contrast works in the studio. Because
Alright, I'll catch y'all later. Peace.